I'm in love! I'm in love! Yippee! Xenu? I do my own stuff! Welcome to the Cruising Altitude Podcast, the podcast dedicated entirely to Tom Cruise. I'm your host, Blake, but you may also know me as Smokey's Videos, and this here is my co-host, Saul.
Hello.
Saul, welcome to the future. We are the first podcast of 2020 to be released on January 3rd, focusing entirely on Tom Cruise.
That's not specific at all.
Hey, we're already a very niche podcast. We can go further.
True.
There's the first dog shake of the year. You have anything to say about this film that was released about 30 years ago?
What was it, 84 or something?
1990.
Oh, right. We're in the 90s now.
Mm-hmm. This is the first film Tom Cruise will be in the 90s.
Nice.
He doesn't actually...
What a great first movie.
A great way to start off the decade.
Mm-hmm.
God, he's been acting for such a long time.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a pretty good coincidence. Like, the first movie for him in the 90s and this first one we're going to do
is in the 20s.
Yeah.
The Roaring 20s! As always, we start the podcast off with 4 fun facts about Tom Cruise. I did something special this month.
You made one up?
I might have made 2 up. I don't really remember. But I will leave it up to you to guess which one is correct.
Oh.
Or is incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Okay, starting off. Tom Cruise can hold his breath for more than 6 minutes.
I can believe that.
Okay. That's a very long time. You try it. In 2004, Tom Cruise fought off a knife-wielding man dressed as the Michelin Man at a convention.
Wait. Can you repeat that?
Okay, so in 2004, he was attending some convention, and he fought off a man wielding a knife, and the man was apparently dressed as the Michelin Man.
What an odd cosplay.
I know.
Alright, I'm not sure about that one yet. Next one?
Tom Cruise has never won an Oscar.
Shit, I don't know.
And finally, Tom Cruise once dressed in drag to receive an award at Harvard University.
Something tells me that can happen, or that could have happened. All right.
Saul, which is the fake fact?
Is it just one?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you read them off again? I'm just kidding. I want it. Oh, man, they all seem like they could have happened to him. I'm gonna say the Michelin Man.
You are correct.
Okay.
Congratulations, you win a tooth.
Is it that Michelin Man's?
I just pulled it out. Here you go.
Ooh, thanks.
Now I'm gonna be talking with a lisp. So, yeah, he did dress him in drag for some award ceremony at Harvard. But I have right here, it's barely drag, and he just wore a bra over his suit.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Yeah, no. I was expecting him to be, like, in a wig and a dress. Other actors who have attended these awards are Sam Jackson, who wore a hamburger bra and a bob cut wig.
See, that's a little more effort, at least.
Mm-hmm. And Harrison Ford, who, he wore a giant Medusa wig and a bra with little, like, tassels underneath.
Huh. But, so are these other two just a bra?
What do you mean?
So, like, how Tom wore his over his suit.
Oh, no, they also wore the bra over the suit. Except their bras were a little more interesting than Tom's. His was just, like, I don't even remember what it was. I think it might have been, like, a Christmas tree or something on it.
Is it, like, kind of a tradition for them to dress up like weird?
Yeah, it's something, I didn't really read into it a lot, but it's, like, the tradition. Unfortunately, the women don't really do anything from what I've seen. They just wore regular dresses.
Mustaches.
Yeah. It seems like it's only the men who dress up in drag. Drag is for everyone, as I always say in every episode of the podcast.
Uh-huh.
Are you ready to move on to some Days of Thunder facts?
Yes.
The synopsis was incredibly short, which I was surprised by, because usually they're kind of long and arduous and basically state the entirety of the movie. This one is no different, except it's just shorter. A young hotshot stock car driver gets his chance to compete at the top level.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It's not wrong.
No, it's not. Do you know who this movie was directed by? He directed a previous Tom Cruise film.
Dan Schneider.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just kidding. There were no... Oh, actually, there was one scene with feet.
Is there?
I mean, you could see her feet when they were in bed. And he's, like, explaining, like, his, his big brain play with little sugar packets. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No, it's not. We want to drag out this dumb movie as much as we can. It was directed by Tony Scott, who previously directed Top Gun.
Oh, okay.
Could you see the similarities?
Yeah.
The film stars Nicole Kidman doing some sort of accent. Robert Duvall.
Is she Australian?
She's Australian-American, but she was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. I don't think I've ever heard her with an accent before that wasn't like an American one.
Was she the lady in one of the Batman movies? Oh.
Yeah, she was also in Batman. She was in Batman Forever. She played the psychologist doctor or whatever.
Oh, right. Sexy
Dr. Chase. Dr. Chase. Fuck, what is her last name? Dr. Chase Meridian. There you go. That's what her name was.
She was sexy in that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she always is.
And she was especially sexy in Aquaman when she was wearing that giant crab suit. Robert Duvall, Randy Quaid, Cary Elwes. I think it's Elwes. Michael Rooker. Do you know who that is? He played Yondu in the Guardians of the Galaxy films. The blue man with Mary Poppins. He played Mary Poppins. Sorry, I get the characters confused sometimes.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
He was also in The Walking Dead, a TV show which is somehow still going.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Are most of them dead?
Yeah. He was also in Mallrats, which was a Kevin Smith film. I met him once at a convention.
Was it?
That's how that story ends. And, of course, Thomas Cruise Mapother IV.
Of course.
The fourth?
The third, I thought.
The third. This film had a budget of $60 million. And would you like to guess the box office returns?
62. not.
Oh, $62.
Yeah. It was just the cast that went to see it.
Close. $157.9 million.
Not bad.
They say that if you want to figure out the actual budget of a film, you always double it because of marketing. So they made about $30,000 more, I guess. That's still good for 1990.
Not bad.
Okay, so here's some trivia I stole from IMDb without reading it all the way. Reportedly, Tom Cruise handpicked Nicole Kidman to be his love interest in the film after seeing her performance in Dead Calm.
Was there a sex scene in that movie?
Probably. Tom Cruise and Robert Duvall's characters are very loosely based on former driver Tim Richmond and his crew chief, Harry Hyde. Richmond was known as an overnight sensation, and Hyde was the veteran crew chief. The scene where Duvall's character teaches Tom Cruise about tire management is based on an actual incident between Hammond and Richmond, who died from complications from AIDS the year before the film was released.
Oh.
I wasn't expecting that. The movie was conceived by Tom Cruise when he and Paul Newman were allowed to test one of Rick Hendricks's race cars. Tom's first lap was in excess of 180 miles per hour.
So he actually did...
I assume he did his own stunts for this film. Did most of the driving. Probably.
I could see it.
Wouldn't put it past him. Surprisingly enough, I don't really think I have any facts about him doing stunts. But we know he does his own stunts. Yeah. Because he cares that much about the medium of film.
Authenticity.
Yeah. The man who drove for Harry Hogg prior to Cole was named Buddy Bretherton. Okay, what the fuck are these goddamn names? I made a list. Harry Hogg, Rowdy Burns, Russ Wheeler, Big John.
Big Smoke.
One of these guys' names was Harlem
Nice.
Cougarhide. Guess what race he was?
British?
Yes. So the Bretherton guy in the movie, they mentioned that he died hitting a wall at Daytona.
Ooh.
And Harry also mentions that he heard voices while driving.
Is it the ghost? He's like a force ghost.
Yeah. Buddy Bretherton is probably based on NASCAR driver Bobby Isaac, who drove for crew chief Harry Hyde. Isaac claimed to have heard voices telling him to get out of the race car, or he would die.
Damn.
So he pulled the car off the track and quit at that moment. Isaac died several years later from a heart attack while driving in a 1977 late model sportsman race at Hickory Motor Speedway with 25 laps left.
Rib.
Rest in peace. Maybe if he hadn't stopped NASCAR, he would have lived. Maybe they were telling... the message didn't get through all the way. They got cut off by the answering machine.
Yeah, the spirit realm can be a little, spotty with its connection.
Tom Cruise originally wanted Kurt Russell for the role of Rowdy Burns, who was played by Michael Rooker in the film. It was through Cruise that Russell became aware of Backdraft, which I think is another racing movie. That was a dumb fact. Quentin Tarantino said the film was his favorite big-budget racing movie. Oh, yeah, now I gotta do a Tarantino impression. Yeah. You laugh, but seriously, I'm a big fan. To me, Days of the Thunder is the movie Grand Prix, and Le Mans 1971 should have been. Sure, it had a big budget, but stars and a big director in Tony Scott, but it had one of those early AIP movies. I just don't think it works if you take the whole thing too seriously.
Blake, where'd you go?
Hey, Saul, I'm back. Can you believe I got Tarantino to cameo on this episode?
Oh, I forgot to ask him when Kill Bill 3 is coming out.
Oh, damn it. I asked you specifically to do that.
It was Turk's fault. He distracted me.
How dare you?
Look how he's sitting.
No, that's her. That's Keiko's.
Oh, shoot.
What is she chewing on?
His bed.
Hey! The scene where Cole and Rowdy race rental cars on the beach shows birds scattering out of the way. The birds were lured onto the beach by birdseed, and in the first take, most of them were run over.
Oh, Peter's gonna get pissed.
Yeah, God, why didn't they do anything about this movie? They got
I wonder what they thought at first. Like should we try that again, or is that just gonna keep happening?
I thought they'd move out of the way.
Apparently, birds want to preserve their energy so much that they wait till the last second to move out of the way. So,
Tom Cruise's character, do you remember what his name was?
Cole Trickle?
Yep.
I thought his last name was a joke at first,
Sam was just calling him that.
Yeah, because I didn't catch his last name at first, and so when the doctor calls him Trickle, because she was put his her hand on him, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, his name was actually a salute to Dick Trickle.
Is that a real name?
Yes, Saul, and you shouldn't. I almost called you Cole. Yes, Saul, and you shouldn't laugh about Dick Trickle because he died on May 16th, 2013 from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. I didn't realize that when I put the fact down.
He couldn't handle his name.
No. After all those years, everyday school children would come by his house and make fun of him. According to Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tom Cruise had a meeting with Dale Earnhardt Sr. prior to the production of the film. It was rumored that Earnhardt was offered the role of Rowdy Burns, but he turned it down because he did not want to play the bad guy.
Aww.
And then he died. So, are you ready to get into a discussion about Days of Thunder?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good. So, as we talked about earlier, it's directed by the same director, Tony Scott, as Top Gun. And it opens very similar to Top Gun, with, panoramic slow motion shots and sort of rock music playing over top.
Oh, they should have used Danger Zone again.
Oh my god, that would have been perfect. This soundtrack was not as inspired as
I don't remember any
Top
song.
Gun. Yeah, me neither. You don't remember the chase sequence he has with the guy in the taxi?
Oh, yeah, what the fuck was that about?
And then that scene just ends and never comes back?
I thought he was about to, like, kill that taxi driver.
Michael Rooker is there, I have, as a note. I'm very excited for him. Apparently in my notes, I was very excited when he showed up because I was surprised. Then there's a man who asks a farmer to build him a car.
Yeah.
The farmer is the coach, Harry Hogg, or Hooge. And who's the NASCAR? Like, is that Big John?
Can we call him Big Smoke?
Big Smoke. Hey, it's Big Smoke. Apparently, the farmer quit racing after being investigated for a racer's crash, which was very ominous.
Yeah. Like, I thought at first it was gonna, like, turn out later that he, like, sabotaged the car on purpose.
That's what I was hoping for. But the farmer, Harry, agrees to come back and coach for this man's racing team as long as he's not investigated.
It's like, odd request, but okay.
Yeah. God, I can barely remember any of this movie. First of all, I don't care about NASCAR in real life. And second of all, I don't care about NASCAR in films unless it's Talladega Nights. We should have just watched Talladega Nights and talked about it.
You just put the title as Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
It counts.
Just replace all the Talladega Nights characters' names with these. Someone says as they're like on the racetrack, I think they're talking about this new hotshot racer named Cole Trickle. And I think the coach goes like, "If you're from California, you're not really anything."
Oh yeah.
Which is a harsh burn on Californians. Go fuck yourselves, you dirty hippies. Why don't you be a real man and race NASCAR? Mm-hmm. Then Tom rides in on a motorcycle with like badass music playing over, and that's another Top Gun thing.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize.
Oh yeah, he also used the motorcycle.
I didn't pick up on that until later when he and the doctor are going on like a date or something to Rowdy's land. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my god, this is just Top Gun again.
Shit, you're right. I didn't notice that. Maybe like
he's also a man who can do no wrong and always wins and succeeds.
Yeah, somehow it's never his fault.
Uh-huh.
Maybe the director really likes motorcycles.
I think he does. He's like Michael Bay.
How Michael Bay is obsessed with explosions.
Uh-huh. And attractive women who play underage characters.
Oh.
Cole Trickle is introduced to the audience. Apparently he was a former Formula One racer.
What's the difference?
Formula One, it's those they look like go-karts almost. They have like the big wheels out on the outsides and like they're the real aerodynamic looking cars. Mm-hmm. They actually race on curvy actual raceways rather than just going around a giant oblong donut.
Yeah.
But he gets made fun of a good amount for being a Formula One racer, I believe.
What a weirdo.
Yeah, you queer.
That's all you can come up with. It's okay. That sounds about right. For for them.
Where does this movie take place?
I don't know.
Did I want to say
somewhere in the East, Kentucky. I don't know.
I thought it was like southeast something.
I think it was Charleston, North Carolina is where it
starts.
The farmer is.
Like it's just because it's fucking hopping around all these different races, but they're all in the South.
Daytona's Florida.
Is it?
I think.
Yeah, sure. Saul, I asked you to do research on NASCAR before we started.
I just couldn't. I couldn't sit through it.
I gave you 8 documentaries to watch. But then they're like, oh, what does he know about racing? He's an F1 driver. Mm-hmm. But then when he gets in the car, everyone is enamored by how amazing he is. Is this like, you think Tony Scott, he wanted to join the Air Force and then he wanted to be a race car driver?
What's the name for that?
It's like
they're his fuck, what's the name? Like when you do that? Self-insert. There
yeah. It's a yeah. Oh god, it's just like an ego project. I can't think of what the actual term is. I probably will later.
Yeah.
But like, it's just him stroking his ego and like being a self-inserted character. Oh god, everyone goes on and on about Ray being a Mary Sue, but no one talks about Cole Trickle.
Cole Trickle and fuck, what's his name in the
God, I don't
Top
know.
Gun?
I do not remember. Maverick.
Oh, right.
Sure. I don't know what his actual name was.
Might as well just be Maverick.
Yeah, fuck. Because he is a Maverick. Dun, dun, dun. They're like, yeah, he's our race car driver now. We did it. We got one.
Then the movie ends just like that.
That was a lot shorter than we expected it to be. So Cole starts racing, and Rowdy Burns is being pretty dickish.
Okay. I'm like, where are you going with this?
He's like fucking slamming his car into Cole's and shit.
All right, he's the one that's
He's the chick
first a
Hicks.
dick, and then they're bros at the end.
Yeah, I didn't. Did you get that? Did you get that relationship change between them?
All I know is when they were like playing bumper cars with Reynolds, that there was like some sexual tension going on there.
Yeah.
Like when they step out of the elevator, they're like adjusting their ties and everything.
Oh my god, you're right.
Wiping their lips.
Zipping up their pants. That's a Jackass thing. Do you remember? Did you ever see that one?
Which
They
one?
get when they get rental cars and they like race them around and fucking smash them up. Maybe they were inspired by this movie.
Shit, you're right.
So yeah, Rowdy is just being a terrible person for no reason, seemingly.
He sees that Cole is like can probably beat him later on.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to kill him.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna kill you, but I'm so attracted to you. Cole, he isn't good at NASCAR, basically.
Low IQ.
Yeah.
Which, you know, for that, even for NASCAR.
He doesn't understand anything. It's also revealed that he just doesn't know anything about cars. He just drives them.
I can relate.
Yeah, me too. Guess because we're not real men, Saul. We're soy boys.
I thought of that word before you said
it. He nearly kills the pit crew somehow. Do you remember how?
Wasn't that a lot of times?
Yeah,
like a simple one.
But this is the first time.
He's going way too fast, and then you have to like move out of the way.
There's another time where he crashes into the wall after his
they,
car
like,
lights on fire.
I don't know what happened.
But after this race, the owner of the owner of the racing team, he comes over and he's like, do you remember what he says to him in like the locker room or wherever they are?
That's a big dick.
Close. We ended up looking like a monkey fucking a football out there.
Yeah, I remember. What does that even mean?
I don't know. Sexy, I guess. So yeah, Cole, he doesn't understand car terminology, blah blah blah, and he's burning tires like it's going out of style because he doesn't know how to, I guess, properly drive on a racetrack like this.
He thinks it's good when you like hit the red on the RPMs. That means I'm turning on the turbo, right?
He's like, it goes all the way to the right. That means I'm doing good. Cole, he tells Harry, fuck, I don't remember. It's just, so much of this film is just race after race after race that
I lose
there's
track of, like,
really, yeah, there's nothing we can really talk about.
Yeah.
It's just them racing.
And it's always the exact same scenario where like no one else but Cole goes outside the outside of the lanes, and he's the only one that's dangerous enough to do it.
Mm-hmm. He's like, oh my gosh, is Cole gonna make it? Yes.
And like it's like, oh, he's hitting me against the wall. Who could have figured that out? It's like, you always fucking do that.
Every person he races against slams their car into his.
And then he's like that surprise Pikachu meme. He's like, they slam it. Dumbass.
Oh my god. So the first race happens and Cole's pissed that he got third place after he blames like the pit crew or something. And Harry tells him to go along the outside during the turn. And Cole's like, what are you talking about? That's crazy.
It's like, you told me not to.
Yeah, isn't that what he did? Like, you told me not to go on the outside. And he's like, no, I'm telling you to go on the outside. God damn it, just listen to me. I know what I'm talking about.
It's like, you're not my real dad.
And Harry's like, what?
Sorry, interference. I'm going through a tunnel.
Yeah. Cole wins his first NASCAR race by doing what his coach told him after all. He's like, if only he had done that sooner.
It's almost as if the coach has more experience.
Yeah, almost. John C. Reilly makes his first appearance. I have a little note right here. He will go on to star in Talladega Nights, as we mentioned earlier. Maybe this was the inspiration for him. Well, this obviously was the inspiration for him. But like maybe he got the idea for that movie in this while he was filming this. I have here, Cole threatens to punch Harry out for lying to him. What was that about?
I want to say it was like intended to be like jokingly kind of like friendly banter.
Right, it was.
But because it's Tom Cruise, he looked too serious about it. He's like, I'm gonna fucking burn you alive.
Just like my tires. Oh, then there's a very interesting scene. Do you remember what happens after the first race while they're on the bus?
Oh, right. they get pulled over for, what is it, like, attempting to smuggle alcohol or some shit?
Transportation of illegal alcohol over state line for distribution.
All right, like a jar of moonshine.
Yeah.
That's already, like, almost finished.
And I was like...
At first I thought they were going to be, like, they were being sabotaged by another crew.
Yeah, I thought it was just like, oh, it's the trope of, like, the corrupt, like, southern cops fucking them over or something.
Yeah.
But, no, Saul, do you want to say what it really was?
A stripper?
I thought they were all strippers.
Yeah. Even the rest of the crew?
Yeah. Aw, what a good dog.
Whoa there.
Saul, what are you doing to my dog?
At first I thought that lady was going to be like the love interest. I'm
I thought so too.
I thought what a weird way to introduce the love interest. Because usually they're like, you know, like dainty and reserved. Mm-hmm. But she's like, hey boy, nice dick.
Yeah, like, you got something in your pocket, mister? I thought she looked so much like Nicole Kidman. In that they were both young and blonde women.
Yeah.
And it didn't help that it was night out, so shadows were cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're strippers. Or she's a stripper at least, but I like to imagine they're all strippers.
Even the dude cops?
Mm-hmm. Like, what happened? What was that? Were they... So... Okay, what were the logistics of this prank?
I don't know. Like,
were they real state troopers? That, like, they're buddies with, I guess, Harry? Or were they all... Were they all impersonating police officers, which is a crime?
My guess is, like, most of those cops were real cops upset for her, and I guess they, like, bribed them.
Yeah, because she's a prostitute.
Yeah. For the rest of the movie, Cole always, like, scratches his groin, like,
oh, jeez.
Anyone's burning?
Is this supposed to burn when I pee? There's a lot of blood in my urine recently. What are you doing?
Can you get down, please?
Get down, Keikos. Sit.
Your turn.
Yeah. She thinks she's a lap dog, but she's a bulldog. So yeah, it can be assumed that he fucked that prostitute in the bus while everybody else listened and or watched.
There's a camera in there.
Oh jeez. In the toilet. There's a crash at their next race. Oh yeah. So hey, big surprise, there's another race, and it's the exact same as the previous race, except this time there's another crash, and one of the cars starts smoking, and all the smoke takes up the whole, what do you call it, the track. And Cole's like, oh my god, there's so much smoke, how am I gonna get through, what if I hit the car? But he drives blindly into the smoke, and holy shit, he's in a terrible accident.
I thought he was gonna die.
Me too.
I thought he was gonna be like crippled, and then the rest of the movie is like kind of like what was literally the last movie.
Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah, where he's got to deal with it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But
I told you.
Yeah, she's hopping on my lap. Did not happen. So he has a concussion, and he's told in the hospital that his brain is bruised and it's swollen.
He's like an apple.
My brain bruises like a banana. Let's see. Where am I? Oh, yeah. So, he's just chilling in the hospital at an unexplained amount of time later.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking who knows how long it's been.
2 hours.
Yeah. He's already in the hospital bed just chilling there. What are you doing, dog?
Turns out he awakened his X Factor, and it's also regeneration.
Oh, my. If only Ron Kovic had that.
Rip.
Hey, why were you shaking your head at that joke, Saul? The crew comes by to see him, and then the doctor comes in. You want to tell him what happened?
The doctor will see you now.
Ooh.
Is what he thought.
Yeah, he blatantly checks her out because he, like us, thinks that she's the same stripper as before because they look exactly alike.
To be fair, I don't really blame him for thinking it, not necessarily for grabbing her hand and forcing
her hand onto his dick.
Yeah, that I don't condone, but he's concussed. He thinks it's another prank. She does look like
the prostitute.
Yeah.
You think that would have happened if the crew wasn't there?
I think she would have slapped him.
Yeah. She was worried about getting jumped by his crew. Oh, God, that's a terrible... Oh,
no.
Oh, that's really dark.
She handles it well, though.
Yeah. Also, what happened to Rowdy? Was his car the one that crashes?
I thought his car was the one that Cole hits. But because I'm guessing because it didn't hit him the same way, he had a different injury.
Oh.
Which
he had a much worse injury. I thought he was gonna die. Yeah. But yeah, Rowdy, he's also in the hospital, and they get released at the same time.
That scene I thought was hilarious.
That was fucking funny.
I thought it was gonna be a whole they pretend the whole hospital's a track, and they're drifting and shit. That would have been good.
So, each of them are getting wheeled out of the hospital to leave, and they're both in wheelchairs, and what the fuck happens?
Cole angrily moves his wheelchair a little forward, and so Rowdy takes it as
it's a race.
Yeah, he treats it as a race, and then they both start trying to go faster, and the nurses can't even keep up with them.
The nurses are chasing after him.
Slow the fuck down, you idiots!
They're racing through a hospital hallway.
I really wanted a drifting scene with that.
Oh my god, that would have been amazing. But then they run into Dr. Lewicki, which is her name. I don't know what her last name was, or her first name was.
I want to say it starts with the C. Colette. Coilette. Oh, remember that episode of Futurama where Bender wants to compete?
Oh yeah.
So he calls himself Coilette.
I never got that until now. A coil because he's a robot.
Exactly.
But they run into the doctor, and it's they just ran into the principal after goofing off in a high school or something.
She's again?
Yeah. She wants to give them a reevaluation of their mental health.
It's you guys need an IQ test. I know you're NASCAR drivers, but this is ridiculous. Does the same happen with boxers? Legit, they get fucked up pretty well.
Probably.
Is that why? Is that right? Is that why Rocky talks like that?
That's fucked up.
Sorry.
Instead of racing down the hallway, they just beat the shit out of each other
with the wheelchairs.
They have the IV just swinging it.
Oh, it's a whole was it Robin Hood where that happens? Where it's they're sword fighting down the staircase, and I think of another movie.
There's a lot of movies that do that.
Yeah, Star Wars.
They go into the room and they get 4 IV stands and they tie them together in a ring.
All the nurses are like placing bets.
There's the giant rat from Born on the 4th of July. He's the ref.
I want a nice clean fight.
Fucking the NASCAR the NASCAR guy, he uses some weird metaphors about letting them race again. Mm-hmm. Do you remember what it was? It was something dumb. Fuck, I can't remember. If you can't remember, it's no big deal. We'll just move on. Who cares? So as Cole leaves the hospital, he runs into Dr. Lewicki in the parking lot, and he asks her on a date. And she's like, "What is wrong with you?"
It's like, no, kissing ass will not get you clearance faster.
Yeah, you put my hand on your dick. No.
I bought some mace because of that. And I plan to use it.
Oh, yeah. So the NASCAR guy, he's like, "Listen, assholes. You two both work for me, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so quit your childish bullshit and come have dinner with me."
Together.
Yeah, together.
See, that's why I think there's a whole, like, undertones here.
Take this car right now and meet me in 6 hours. You can do whatever you like to win the car. That's odd. There was a lot of homoerotic... I wouldn't say undertones in Top Gun. They're pretty...
Yeah. Just tones. Oh, speaking of which, we were talking about Batman Forever earlier. That definitely has like some.
Oh yeah, well that's Joel Schumacher.
Is he?
He is a out of the closet gay man.
Oh, okay, so yeah, that explains the armor nipples.
Mm-hmm. There's also the whole. Yeah, that's a whole different discussion. I like that movie. I think Val Kilmer is probably the best Bruce Wayne.
It's very campy, but I don't. That's not a bad thing.
It's not Batman and Robin.
Anyways,
yeah,
we can talk about good movies some other time.
Yeah,
or better movies.
Yeah, better movies. By directors who have accepted their sexuality. Allegedly. Okay, so, yeah, he and Rowdy's like, he wants you to drive, but I want to drive. How are we going to settle this? Let's go rent another car.
They're technically not breaking the rules.
Except, it would make sense for each of them to rent their own car and just go about their way.
Yeah.
But instead, I thought the race was to see who was going to drive the car to the dinner.
I feel like that's the inception of it, but they got carried away. They got like 3 stars if they were playing GTA.
Yeah. They ran over birds.
Yeah. Wait, when they went to that scene, did you see the birds get run over? I don't remember, know. But I guess that would have gotten some attention from PETA.
Yeah.
PETA existed back then.
I don't know when PETA was founded, but what I do know is that one of the cars almost gets hit by a semi.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're driving down the wrong lane of traffic. Does he hop on the sidewalk? Is that what happens?
Like, half of his car just goes onto the sidewalk.
Jesus Christ, what is wrong with these people?
Good thing no one was walking
I know. God. Yeah, and then Rowdy and Cole, they show up to dinner. Mm-hmm. And they're fixing themselves back up.
They're like sweaty and shit.
Uh-huh. It is a very homoerotic overtone.
You doing anything later?
Yeah, just going hard at each other, racing, seeing who can come first.
I like before that when they're waiting and the boss is like, clearly pissed off.
Oh yeah.
He has like this big ass ring and I'm like, is this dude like a mob boss? He's the Penguin.
That revelation made me choke. Does anything happen at the dinner? I don't think it does. I think it just cuts before
we see
it.
Little shits are late.
Yeah, and then it cuts after they arrive. Cole then sends a lot of flowers to Dr. Lewicki.
Mm-hmm.
A stalkerish amount of flowers, if I might add.
Yeah.
It's a fucking rainforest in her office. And she's like, I'm a doctor. What? This stuff is gonna, like, contaminate all my things.
Huh. That's a good point.
There's all those little, probably, bugs inside there, too.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck, Cole? He killed everyone in that hospital.
You know how many foreign bacteria
yeah,
are
how
in
many
here?
foreign bodies are in here? This was a sterile office. Then she gives Cole a checkup.
She's like
and
pouring
then she
bleach
gives
on all
Cole
the
a
plants.
checkup. Huh?
She's like pouring bleach on all the plants.
But yeah, then Lewicki gives Cole a checkup, and then she gives him a checkup.
I thought he was gonna faint, but it turns out that's the wrong character.
Yeah. And she's really horny. I have right here.
Mm-hmm.
Post-coitus.
What?
What? You ever heard that term?
Post-coitus clarity?
Yeah. Cole, he's like, what am I doing? I want to race. Give me some sugar packets.
He's like, out of my way, harlot. Trying to distract
I need to
me.
find Rowdy. What were they doing with those sugar packets? Was that just her asking how NASCAR works?
Yeah. She just happened to have them on her.
She likes to pour sugar on men she has sex with.
She's diabetic.
Oh, jeez.
So whenever her blood sugar gets low, she has them handy.
That's why she seems so horny. She wasn't horny. She was just getting
Dizzy.
like dizzy and like loopy. More post-sex talk and weird euphemisms. Ahoy!
That was pretty tasteful for like a '90s scene.
I don't really remember what happened.
He just like gets on top of her and is like,
Yeah.
I like to feel in control. Because, I secretly fear for my life every waking moment.
And racing and sex is the only thing that makes me feel better about myself. And then this is where I noticed that it's Top Gun, because this is when he rides the motorcycle with the love interest as music plays, and it's like long shots of them just cruising at sunset.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cole and Rowdy are buddies now, unexplained. I guess whatever they did in those 6 hours. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Rowdy is dying from brain damage or something.
Or something.
What did you think it was? I thought it was either brain damage or cancer.
Brain cancer damage?
Oh, my gosh. He has too much sugar in his head. All
those fumes.
Yeah, so they go to someone's house, I guess Rowdy's house or whatever, and she's Dr. Lewicki's like, what the fuck, why didn't you come for your checkup, man? You're dying. And Rowdy's like, my family doesn't go to the doctor.
We don't believe in medicine.
Yeah, we don't believe in Western medicine.
Turns out like his whole family's anti-vax.
Oh, man.
Kid's got the whooping cough in the other room.
Oh, jeez. The other kid has the mumps.
It's like,
That kid has polio. Each room in the house, it's a 21-bedroom house. Each bedroom has one kid with a different illness.
Cole's playing with, like, cards with, like, another kid. It's like, are you contagious, by the way? I don't think I want to touch your cards anymore.
But yeah, that's Rowdy's story. Hey, he needs to go to the hospital because he has a broken blood vessel in his head.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry, he's fine.
I was hoping we were gonna.
Do we ever see him again after the hospital visit?
I was gonna ask, like, because when he's getting ready. We're skipping ahead way too much. So for now, we'll say he's gonna be fine, probably, maybe.
Yeah. At another race, it's a race.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly a car bursts into flames for whatever reason, and Cole pulls off into the pit crew. He pulls off into the pit area where the pit crew comes and gets him, and they say that the engine blew out or whatever. And what happened at that race?
Once again, Cole tries to divert blame onto the crew when his coach checks like the little meter,
the
recent RPMs, and it was like way over the limit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, God damn it. I
God
knew it.
damn it, Cole, I told you to stop. You're too fast, too furious.
Was the new rival already here yet, or was that after? I don't remember.
Which is the race where he's like, he's blocking me. Is that the last one?
No, that's like before. I think that's like before. Oh yeah. That's yeah. So,
I think it's the next race.
Yeah, it's the next race because that's when he gets blocked by the new guy. Because the owner, I guess, the team owner gets another team because he sees that Cole is getting a little insane. Unreliable, I guess.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. So later in this race, Cole, he leaves the pit without getting fixed up because he's like, you motherfuckers are too slow, goddammit.
Yeah.
And here's my note about NASCAR. God, I really could not care any less about NASCAR. Not even Tom Cruise can save this. I hate this.
I was indifferent mostly.
There's a crash again. This film is unrealistic.
Of how many crashes there are?
Yeah, because I feel like a good amount of people who don't care about NASCAR, like myself, will only watch NASCAR in hopes of seeing a crash. There are way too many crashes for this to be an actual NASCAR race.
Is it very rare for them to happen now?
I think so, yeah. Like, it doesn't happen as... Maybe it's because this is the 90s.
People, they didn't even wear seatbelts back then.
They're lucky if they had a helmet.
They can't afford that kind of weight.
When earlier in the film they were talking about Cole's helmet being cracked or something.
He's like, helmet?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, was he wearing a helmet?
It's like, your helmets are way too heavy.
Helmet, I'm not a soldier. Helmets are way too heavy. It weighs down my car. That's what we had, the seatbelt and the airbags taken out.
Here's a thin napkin to
to cover yourself. Why does Cole get pissed and rams the pace car?
What's that dude's name? I forget. Russell?
Rowdy?
Rowdy. No. It's not his lover, rival, but the new guy.
Oh, Russ Wheeler.
I'm calling him Joey Wheeler, like from Yu-Gi-Oh. So Joey, he wins because he blocks him off right there earlier when they're at the pit stop.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So he's doing like his little victory lap, and Cole's like salty as hell. And so he's like, give me some new wheels, and like, but the race is over, dude. Like, why do you want them? Like, come on, just do it. And
give me the
for
wheels.
Some reason,
his eyes turned red. It's like in Lord of the Rings, like Bilbo Baggins when he screams.
I was thinking Anakin when he like goes to the dark side.
Oh, and kills all those those kids.
Yeah, and so he rams his car like he's in a freaking demolition derby.
And he rams him on the driver's side too. Yeah. Do we ever see Joe Russell Wheeler again?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
He's in the last race.
Oh. In a full body cast. He's driving with his mouth.
He's like fine, but Cole probably give himself another concussion. It's like have you ever seen Not Another Teen movie? Yeah. Where it's like you only have 3 more concussions to work with. Oh, I fucking love that movie.
Russ Wheeler, nothing happened to him because he actually had safety stuff in his car. When Cole took all that shit out.
They had to make a counter for concussions for him now. Oh, I love that movie. It's so dumb. And that's when I first started to like what's his name, Chris Evans.
Oh yeah.
that
his whipped cream.
But yeah, so that's when he gets fired because, how would you not get fired after that?
He's not the only one who gets fired. The entire team gets fired.
Because of him. Oh yeah, because they all they start fighting.
Oh yeah, that's right. Jesus.
At least those dudes are loyal.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, that guy's in on it.
That's why Nicole Kidman didn't want to slap Cole.
Oh, speaking of which, she's like Cole's like love interest. Did you see like Joey Wheeler's love interest? Like,
no.
I didn't know if it was a man or a lady. And like at first I thought it was a man because like very short hair, like kind of like almost androgynous, but with lipstick. I'm like, wow, that'd be very progressive for a '90s movie. But then I think it's a lady.
It's definitely a lady.
Definitely, it just like it looks like a lady James Charles. That's why I was confused.
Hey, maybe she's post-op.
No, yeah.
That's our headcanon.
She's just a trans lady.
It cuts to or after the race. What are they doing? Happened? They're at like a hotel or something with Cole and Lewicki.
Oh yeah, she's like he's gonna escort her to the plane.
Oh okay. Oh yeah, because she was there watching the race. Mm-hmm. She saw him be a fucking maniac and like, slam his car into someone.
That's when she's like, I don't think I want to be in a car with you right now. Can I get on that taxi? And then
who hits whose car first?
The taxi driver is getting really impatient because they're taking their sweet ass time,
yeah.
And so he kind of like
even though they're in like the same place.
Yeah.
And like, is he? I don't think the taxi guy was waiting for anybody.
Yeah, he's not even like if he had like a passenger with him, I would get it. But
that fare's ticking.
Yeah.
So you can sit in traffic for however long you like.
Yeah, and so he like kind of tries to nudge Cole's car on, but then Cole gets
He gets pissed and fucking
rams his car behind
backs
him.
it in reverse.
And then there's like, for some reason, the taxi driver drives away.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh my god!"
He's like, "Catch me if you can, asshole."
I thought he was like, he was leading him to an ambush.
Yeah.
I was like, is that taxi driver one of the other racers in disguise?
He's like wearing like a obviously fake mustache.
The price tag's still on it.
And then I thought this was gonna be a scene where like the doctor gets hurt because she like.
Oh yeah, she's trying to get out while he's speeding down the road.
She jumps out. She's like, all right.
She jumps out and it's clearly a stuntman.
It's just a doll.
No, but he chases the taxi driver to like a parking garage. Mm-hmm. Why did I say it like that?
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
A parking garage.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lewicki screams at him for being an insane person.
Which, she has every right to.
Yeah.
He almost got killed.
Oh my god. Where are the police?
Wait, didn't this also happen in Top Gun? Where, like,
there was a
Maverick, like...
There was a chase sequence.
Yeah.
Except in that one... No, wait. Oh, fuck.
Because, like...
She drives after... Does she drive after him, or is it the other way?
I think he drives after her, and she's like, "You're a fucking maniac."
Yeah. Oh my god, this is Top Gun!
Exactly.
Except
not as good.
Yeah, and Top Gun isn't that great. Okay, and then it's revealed here that Rowdy needs brain surgery because of his blood vessel popped in his head, and there's too much blood, so they need to drain him by drilling a hole in his head.
See, I was hoping it would be like a scene in Saw where it's like super graphic, and you
get
to see his like, skull get like pried open. Did you ever see that one?
No, I don't think I've ever seen any of the Saw films. It's one of the
not as good older ones, or not one. The later installments that are not as good, but it's a very graphic like brain surgery scene.
I never got into Saw.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know. I don't really care for the torture porn stuff. Mm-hmm. I watched a Let's Play of the Saw video game.
Shit, I didn't know there was one.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
I think
very bad. Is it one of those like right when the movie comes out they make like a very very rushed and half-baked video game?
It's like. It seems like they were copying like Resident Evil style, like gameplay. Like the camera's in a fixed position, I think.
Oh, okay.
And like you have to do like QTEs to get out of the traps, or else your character will just die.
Like that one we played about the. Fuck! It's like it starts off playing basketball.
Oh, obscure OBS cure.
I looked up what happens later on. Holy shit, it gets weird.
Oh, really? We need to play that again.
And let's see what happened. What were we talking about?
We were talking about Rowdy's brain surgery.
Yeah, that too.
And we also brought up the fact that this movie is just Top Gun again.
Brain surgery.
Oh yeah, and he's like, Cole. Do you think I should go through with this operation?
Oh yeah, he's very scared.
Yeah, he is. Unfortunately, he never comes back, so we don't know how it went.
Yeah, we don't see him again, huh?
No. He never shows up again.
They never even get like a goodbye kiss.
Yeah, he's like, there's no, like, he shows up at the Daytona race, or, like, he's watching it from his hospital bed. Nothing. Which makes me think he died.
He died.
He's one of those many NASCAR Force ghosts.
That'd be funny. Like, if after, like...
It ends like Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like the Force ghost of him, and then the guy the coach is like older driver.
But Rowdy asks Cole to drive his car at the Daytona race, which was sweet of him to give his love that one last chance. And then Harry tells a NASCAR ghost story in an old barn.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know what happened at this point because I got up and left the room.
And I paused it?
I thought I paused it, but I did not. And when I came back, it was at the end of their argument about whatever.
So first Cole shows up, and then like, I don't want to talk nothing about cars. And so he's like, okay, we won't. And then they drink, they go back to the little barn place, and they talk about cars.
Oh.
And so he's like, he explains like, Cole says, you know, he didn't die from a heart attack, did he? He's like, nope, he didn't. He, like, forgot what they say, but he just, like, I guess the dude got, like, really anxious and, like, just crashed himself by accident. And so he doesn't want Cole to drive because he doesn't want him to die because he knows that Cole's, like, scared and nervous. But then Cole, like, flips it and he's like, so are you? And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
So Harry's like, so are you?
He's like, no, you. Just throwing Uno cards at each other. And so, like, they agree to work together, and Rowdy's going to make him another car, or fix up that other one, that Rowdy's car. God damn it, I keep mixing up the names. The coach is going to help, is the point.
Yeah, he agrees to help.
Something I like about him is that he talks to the cars as if they were, like,
oh, yeah,
people. I thought it was, like, a neat detail.
That was cute.
Because he's like, take care of him, will ya? And then, like, he sees that the car's leaking oil, and he's like, that's not the response I wanted.
And now, finally, it's Daytona time, baby. Woo! It's another race.
Just plays out. I wonder if they use, like, just the same arena.
Same stock shots? Probably.
Yeah, like, the same location, because I don't think they all look any different.
So I have something to reveal about how I watched this film. I downloaded an extension for Chrome, which allows me to speed up any videos.
Oh.
So I put the video speed up kind of fast so I could speed through this film.
Nice.
And watching the movie at that speed during the final race turns it into like a speed racer style NASCAR anime.
Like Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift.
It felt like fucking like an anime about NASCAR because like the music was super fast and pumped up, and they're going like just Mach 5.
You're like, shit, they should have done this from the start.
Yeah. Is there a NASCAR anime? I know there's like baseball.
There's
and,
gotta
like,
be racing anime.
like,
There's
right?
like there's basketball anime. There's cooking anime. There's to be fair though, those cooking animes, they get fucking lit. They're exciting.
I don't have a whole lot of notes about the final race other than what a surprise, Cole wins.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Let's see. So what happens? Oh, so that scene where like Cole's showing Dr. Lewicki his super big brain play that him and the coach are like cooking up, which is just go behind the car and then use like the air drift.
Just draft behind him like a basic.
Everyone. Yeah.
What other movie did like?
It's the football one.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. It's like as if no one's ever fucking thought of that. Instead of throwing it to him, we'll pretend we're doing it and then throw it to the other dude. It's like, wow.
Like, you're so clever. Oh my god.
Because in the East Coast, all that moonshine gets to them. They're not very bright.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're like in the final laps, and Joey expects Cole to go to the outer lanes like he always does, but nope, Cole goes to the left and uses the big brain play to beat him by a mere second.
Oh yeah, and the flag waves and woohoo, he won Daytona.
Yeah, and then
does that win count for Rowdy since it was his car?
I think it does.
It's like in
I guess
memoriam.
like for both. I think it's like Rowdy's team, but Cole gets the win.
Yeah, like.
Because Rowdy said that later on.
But no one hires Cole because he's a maniac.
Yeah, they're like, still not gonna let you
we
drive.
saw what you did to that guy.
You're a danger to even this sport. And so like, what I thought was gonna happen was because later when like everyone's like doing a victory, hip hip hooray.
They're all celebrating.
They can't. They don't see where the coach is.
Getting
and
drunker.
So they like look away, and I didn't see him sitting there. So I thought he was like, having a heart attack or something from just like the shock of winning. But no, he's fine.
Yeah, I don't remember anything from the ending other than the final moments of the film.
It's a very 80s like final shot where it's like they're running and it like freeze frames.
Yeah, it's like Cole is like, "Hey Harry, I'll race you down there," and Harry's like, "You're on." And so they start running away like goofballs, and it freeze frames on them running down like the pit crew area.
Yeah.
That's how it ends. The end. I screenshotted that, so I'm gonna post that online.
It's an extremely like linear and it's no surprises that he wins.
It's very cookie cutter. It's very basic. Is like an epitome of just your bland 80s movie.
It's not bad per se. It's just extremely vanilla. It's like you go to Dairy Queen and you just get the vanilla ice cream cone and you're happy.
And then you go get drunk because you're watching NASCAR. And what else are you gonna do for fucking 800 laps? So yeah, let's move on to the afterthoughts. Did you have anything?
I
have comparison with Top Gun, but we sort of did that through the entirety of the the podcast.
Let's see. What would you have changed?
Oh, fuck.
I would have Cole win, but die.
Yeah.
Like he crashes.
Make it a more character-driven story, I guess, rather than... Or just up the insanity.
Like there's a whole, like...
The movie's already pretty ridiculous and, like, super machismo. So just fucking crank that shit up.
Oh, we forgot to say like that at the end, like the team owner dude, Big John, like ends up helping him at the end.
Oh yeah, because
and then
like the car he needs to get going in a hurry, so like
both
both pit crew teams
power of friendship push.
They push him out
like an anime.
I told you it's an anime.
They're just shouting "Go!" together.
Go Kosan!
Ike? That means go.
Oh, you learn something new every day.
But what would you change about it?
Can I just change the fact that this movie exists? Can I just erase it from history?
I would have someone sabotage like something during.
Yeah, like.
And they think it's the coach again. Like, you asshole. You just can't stop, can you?
Like, fucking make his nemesis something.
An actual threat?
Yeah. Yes. Because there's like that whole scene like at the Daytona where like all the racers are getting interviewed and they're talking about Cole because
they're like, yeah, he's a pretty good kid, and he's like, yeah, he's pretty good.
He's like, I'm gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, he's like, no, he's a menace to society and he needs to be stopped.
He almost murdered me.
I would have liked if like instead of Rowdy having been given that injury just because of driving, like it turns out that Joey Wheeler just fucking stabs him in the spine
as they're racing.
He throws a knife. Or like he waits.
Or like he gets jumped or something.
Yeah, he jumps him in the middle of the night.
Yeah, like,
shoots him in the back of the spine.
Just fucking. Rowdy is a much more interesting character than Cole.
Yeah, he really is.
Like,
he's very dynamic.
Because... Fucking just don't have Cole be a maniac and slam his car into the Wheeler's car.
He's always just selfish, maniac, doesn't care about others' well-being, as long as he gets what he wants. Yeah. But yeah, Rowdy actually changes.
Just fucking don't give Cole the car for Daytona. He stays in the race. He doesn't get fired. He doesn't win, which is like a big crusher for his ego.
He gets second, but he still gets a sponsor.
Or not Rowdy. Even that. Like fucking, because I want Rowdy to stay in the race, and I don't know, something to happen at Daytona where he and Cole have to like team up, or like Rowdy gives him the win or something. And he's like, I love you, Cole, and he swerves his car.
This is for you. He like slams into Joey so he wins. Oh, that would have been fine. Oh, see, that would have been good. We should just like make your own version.
Exactly.
He like dumps Doctor for
Rowdy.
Yeah.
What did you think of Tom's hair?
It's very messy in some parts.
Mm-hmm. Not as bad as Born on the 4th of July.
He's has a very like kind of like a very green look, where like he looks like he's very inexperienced.
Oh, like greenhorn. Yeah.
But at first, he kind of like had the typical bad boy thing going on, like again.
Yeah, what is this, Top Gun? Definitely one of his more forgettable haircuts.
Yeah,
like
aren't they all the same?
No.
Oh, in
Taps, he's bald.
Yeah.
In Losing It, he's very clean cut. I think.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't he have like a pseudo
like
bowl
cut?
Boy.
Yeah.
You have any thoughts on NASCAR?
No.
Me neither. So,
this movie could have, like, the plot of this movie could have happened with literally any other sport.
So
literally any other sport. It could have been like track and field.
Oh my god, I want to see that movie. And the crashes are the same.
They run into each other and they like sprain their ankles.
For some reason, smoke starts billowing out of them.
And instead of like the cars, they're like special shoes. Fuck, that would have been good. See, that would have worked too, because the coach and him are always racing each other. So it's like, race ya.
Oh god. You ready to give this film a rating?
Sure.
Here at the Cruising Out 2 podcast, we have a very special rating system. It's out of a 21 possible teeth, because at any given time when Tom Cruise smiles, he will show off 21 teeth.
Yep.
So I'm going to list off some other websites that gave ratings for this film while you can think yours over. IMDb gives this film
the calculator
a 6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 39%. BestBuy.com lists it as 4.6 out of 5.
Best Buy as in like electronics?
Uh-huh.
They rate their movies?
Or they allow people to rate them.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, like, why don't they just rate everything like
Mr.
super good?
Mr. Best Buy watches all of our movies and gives them his own personal rating. And Roger Ebert gave it a 3 out of 4.
I got nothing now. Okay. So how many teeth would you give it?
10 and 1 missing tooth because you got 7 and 3 missing teeth because he got into a car crash. I did not like this movie. It did not hold my attention at all.
I would give it 12 and 1 really rotten tooth. Like, it's like this person eats a lot of freaking lollipops.
It's like any one of NASCAR's fans.
Yeah. And then one of them is also like a little cracked because they slammed the brakes on and hit their face into the steering wheel.
So I'm at 7. Oh my god.
Was that a goose?
It sounded like an old-timey automobile.
Yeah, it did. It sounded like those cars in what was that game? LA Noire.
Oh yeah. That's another game we need to return to.
There it is again. Alright, so where are you putting this?
So we have a list of films. I don't think it's gonna go very high. Or gonna go very high on the list. What is this movie called? Days of Thunder?
Yes.
I want to put it... I want to put it below Legend and above Cocktail. So at number 10 on our list of 13.
Yeah, that's where I was going to put it, to be honest. Because, like, whenever I do this, I'm like, what would I rather watch again if I had to?
I do not want to watch Cocktail
no.
or The Color of Money or Losing It ever again.
Like, I could at least be a little entertained by Legend just because of how good the backgrounds were.
Mm-hmm. What is that? Is someone killing a goose? Like, someone's running over geese with an old-timey automobile.
They're making the Christmas dinner ahead of time. So, number 10.
All right, so let me save that. And let's...
I wonder if they can pick it up.
Maybe. I hope so. So, our current list of Tom Cruise films is as follows. At number 1, we have Born on the 4th of July, then Rain Man, Risky Business in third, followed by Top Gun. And number 4, Taps, Endless Love, The Outsiders, All the Right Moves.
Meh. This is where it starts getting
yeah. Legend. At number 10 is Days of Thunder. 11, Cocktail, Color of Money, and at the bottom of the barrel, number unlucky 13.
Boo.
Boo! It's Losing It. Know your place, trash.
We just play that little clip of him.
Just every episode.
Every time we just mention Losing It. But is it me or like do the plots of Color of Money and Cocktail, I'm just like so like blurred. I don't know which is which anymore. Like it just the same thing happens.
Yeah.
Mentor that's like shady and almost tries to like steal the girl, and then they get into a fight and then they reconcile.
Yeah, that's exactly both films. Moving on to Tom Cruise news, the phrase that's always fun to say. Mm-hmm. There was a new Top Gun Maverick trailer.
Yes, I was gonna ask if you saw it, but I haven't yet.
I did. I edited Danger Zone into the trailer.
Again? Or?
Yeah, into the new one.
Okay.
Every time they release a trailer, I'm going to do it until they finally put it in. And when they do finally put it in, I'm just going to put the whole entirety of Danger Zone playing over the whole trailer. It looks pretty good. It's it seems to be like there's like just a new squadron of Air Force fighters, and they bring Maverick, Tom Cruise, back to be their trainer. And he's teaching them all these crazy maneuvers, and he's like, or one of the pilots during the training is like, this guy's crazy.
So there's gonna be like another like hotshot.
Mm-hmm. And Goose's son is in it.
He's the one that dies, right?
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah.
What if he sees like his dad's Force Ghost just like in the ocean?
I think we talked about this before too.
Oh yeah, I think we did.
I think we talked about Goose coming back as a ghost on the Top Gun episode.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, there's really not a whole lot. It's just them flying planes. There's a scene at the end where like something's going on, and one of the jets has to release like the flares from the plane, and then an explosion goes off, and the jet starts to crash. I don't know who the fuck the enemies are gonna be, because in the original one, it was just like 3 Soviet planes.
The enemy is gonna be themselves. It's gonna be what's it called? Those kind of types where it's like man versus nature, man versus something else. Man, and then man versus himself. It's like his own psyche.
Oh. Tom Cruise, he has a love interest who's about 20 years younger than he is.
As you do.
Mm-hmm. Obviously. You can't have a 50-year-old man get with someone who's his age.
That'd be too weird.
Yeah, oh, gross. I want her to be younger. But yeah, nothing other than that has really come up in the news about Tom Cruise. So let's move on to some self-promotion. You can find us on iTunes, if it's still around, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and Podbean at The Cruising Altitude Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Cruising Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at Smokey's Videos. And follow Tom Cruise on Twitter at Tom Cruise.
You better. We're tracking those numbers.
Yeah,
They're
we
not
are.
as high as we want them to be.
You motherfuckers.
Stitcher sounds like a dating app.
It does.
Like Tinder. Or
Stitcher. It sounds like an app to fix your marriage. Stitch your broken marriage back together with Stitcher. Follow Saul on Instagram at diosama_art. That's DIO_SAMA_art. Mm-hmm. And join us next month, the month of love, for a romantic movie, I think, Far and Away from 1992. This is the one where Tom Cruise plays an Irishman, and I really hope he does the accent.
Oof.
I think it's about this Irish couple comes to America in like the 1900s.
So like during the potato famine?
Yeah. A potato. I always says it like that. He's like, hello there.
You're way better than that than I am.
But yeah, join us next month for Far and Away. So, it's your favorite part of the podcast.
Oh, God.
Where we give our famous sign-off. You want to start it?
Sure. Wrigley's.
Believe it.
And.
Oh, wait. Wait, fuck. I did 2 words.
It's okay. That's a phrase.
Okay. Wrigley's Believe It and See It.
In.
Dolby.
Who? See it and believe it? No. See it and... Wait, what was it?
Wrigley's Believe It.
Believe it
and see it in
Dolby's. Where are you looking at? Dolby's who eats...
Fuck. Eats gum.
Okay, cool.
As we always say, Wrigley's Believe It and see it in Dolby's who eats gum.
What a weirdo. Is it true where like they say if you eat gum it won't come out for like years?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's definitely true.
So what happens? It just stays there?
Yeah.
And
you die with it.
Your stomach acid just can't dissolve it?
No, it's not actually true.
Oh, okay.
Or is it? You're starting to have second thoughts about all that gum you ate. Shut
up. Don't tell them. Oh, have you seen well, everyone's seen a little bit of Family Guy, but like where it's like, this is just as bad as the time you got into the garbage can, and it's like she like, Brian, did you get into the trash again? No. You're like, I know you're lying to me. I'm not lying. And you're like, it's a little bubble. Back when Family Guy was good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll see you next month.
Goodbye.
Bye.